Okay guys, this is going to be your second tutorial, and I really think after you do this tutorial you need to take a break for the night, and then I'll be uploading some more tomorrow night, and I might upload some more tonight, and but after this one you need to take a break, because you don't need to flood your mind with all that at one time, or you'll end up not learning a thing. It's like a huge brain fart. But for now, we're going to do scripting in Studio because I don't want people to get confused. I already gave a tutorial on Noli's script bot, and so if you ever want to convert the script over to the script bot, you should know how. If you don't, then look at some other tutorials on YouTube. I might upload one just for that sole purpose. But as I was saying, you need to know a good amount of Studio, and you need to know how to navigate through it. You need to know Roblox objects and properties. You need to know them very well. I do want to show you guys something right now. Watch. See the script right here, and see link source. See how I can type any word or number into it? Well, anytime you can type a word or a number into something, it's known as a string value. Remember, I was explaining those in the last tutorial. Like, I'll show you something else, for example. Let's get a message. Now, see the text for the message? That's a string value. You can put letters, numbers, you can put both letters and numbers. So, now let's take a look at a number value. Find the actual object number value if you're doing this with me. Now, watch. You can only type numbers into it. Try and type a word. Oh, you can type a word into it. Huh, I actually never knew that. That's crazy. But, if it's like, as we get farther into tutorials, you'll know the difference between a number value and a string value anyway. And, a bool value, like true or false, is these little check boxes. When you say it's true, there's a check in it. When you say it's false, there isn't. That's simple enough. Now, to test, I'm going to show you guys how to create objects that Roblox has today. And it's with the function called the instance function. It's a Roblox made function. We'll get into making our own functions later. You just say instance.new, opening parenthesis, and then opening quote, and then the name of whatever you want to make. We're going to say hint, and then a closing quote and a closing parenthesis. Now, the problem is when you make this, it starts out in a place called nil, and that means non-existent, because you have to parent it. You have to put it in workspace. See over here, workspace? But before we do that, we need to tag a variable to it, because if it's non-existent, you can't access it. So let's say x equals. The variable can be whatever you want, like I said in the last tutorial. And now that x equals the hint, let's say x.parent equals game.workspace. You can say capital G for game.workspace. You can say just workspace if you want. I say game.workspace because back when I scripted, no one knew that you could just say workspace, and I guess I just hung out with idiots, I guess, maybe, and I got used to it, so let's test this. And we have a hint in workspace. And if you ever have an error in your script, down here, it'll tell you your errors, so watch for that. That's called output. And to get it, you just go to view, and then out. and you want the Explorer too. That comes in handy. You want toolbox, basic objects, script performance isn't very needed, task scheduler isn't very needed, diagnostics isn't very needed. Diagnostics. Now let's delete this because I'm going to show you a cooler way of getting into Workspace. Now, if you're creating an object, you're wanting to create an object right now. The first parameter of this is needed. A parameter is like what's in between the parentheses of a function. And the first it can have multiple parameters, and when you make functions, this will become more clear to you. This is called an argument, and an argument is what's ever within your parameters, and your parameters are your opening and closing parentheses. We have one argument that's needed because we want to make an object. If we didn't want to, we wouldn't need that argument. This would run fine. Watch. Perfect. But it says string expected. So, we'll go back and put hint. Now, whoops. I'm sorry, if you don't put the parentheses, this will work fine. Watch. See, no errors. Now, let's put our parentheses again. And a lot of people do this to make libraries, and it makes it simpler, and I might actually make one with you guys in a tutorial, but let's make another hint. And then let's put a second argument, and to make a second one, you just put comma, and then your second argument, which will be workspace. Now, if a function doesn't have a second argument, you can look, if it doesn't have a second argument, then don't put one or it'll error. To see all of Roblox's built-in functions and all of their objects, just go to help and then object browser, and then you can see all the objects and what built-in methods and functions they have. You don't know what a method is yet. You barely know what a function is, so don't get into this too much right now. Let's go back to the script because we need to look at one of its properties. Let's load this script one more time to see that that second argument works, and it did. Look at the hint. It has a property called text. Now the text property is obviously a string. It can be letters or numbers or letters and numbers. Now we're going to make it say, delete the hint, and then go back to your script, and then say x. Now remember, the property's name is text, so say dot, capital T, ext, and then equals, and then put any string you want, like hello world. And I want you to know that when you run a script, it starts from the first line and then reads right to left like it's reading a book, and then goes down another line. So if I said like hint and then I put another T on the end, that would error, but it would still put the hint in workspace because it read that already, and then it read the next part, and the next part's the part that errored. See? And then it says text is not a valid member of hint. Another thing you need to know is that it's case sensitive, and it's sensitive to if you don't spell it correctly, so you need to put capitals correctly when you do stuff like this, and you need to spell it correctly. So all you people that don't spell right, you need to work on it. Now this will work since I took the extra T off the end, and remember it's a capital T for the first T. Let's run this. And it says hello world. Now this is a little much, but we're going to move on to basic operators, and we'll come back into them later. Now, an operator is plenty of things that you've seen already. The equal sign right here, remember how we said x equals instance.newHint, or x equals 100, or x equals true, or x equals false, or x equals a string, you know. Well, you put one equal sign, and it means setting the value, and then